theory, or what is this?
Well, let's put it this way. All the things that I can truthfully tell you are my personal experience and observations.
Mm-hmm.
And Oswald could not have been the lone shooter and to have put the 2 bullet wounds that I saw from the front there.
Mm-hmm.
So I could say this now without hesitation, that the autopsy pictures are different from the body that we placed in the coffin at Parkland. Ergo, there definitely was a cover-up. Now, as far as the other things, I have to let my co-author, Gary Shaw, who's spent 27 years of his life studying that, and he believes it was a multiple assassin. There was a triangulation. There were 3 shooters. That's what he says. Now, I can't get into that because I'm not a theorist, but I can tell you that there were bullets from the front. And if you adhere to Oswald, then they say it's only from the back.
Were there cameras in the operating room?
None. There were no pictures taken. As a matter of fact, for the next 3 years after that, they checked over all of our photographs that were developed at the Kodak company there in Dallas, and they were inspected to see if we had by chance had any film taken.
Well, somebody knows. Somebody out there knows the whole story. Heaven forbid if they're in a position of power. And I just can't help but think that they're feeling that America or the world is getting very close to the resolve of this terrible act as a part of our history.
I think that's what's so important, is to bring back the confidence of the American people in their government. And that's why one of the points that we always bring out is to get everyone to back the Stokes-Bourne resolution, to reopen and reinvestigate the assassination while people are alive and can help, and also find out what the KGB said. And new evidence can be felt and found, I feel surely.
You ever been afraid in this ordeal, the publisher?
No, I think mostly it's been more of back in that era. I was wondering when the Secret Service came out and asked all our neighbors all about us, family, and they asked whether we were communist or Republican. And I had a hard time. I was having a hard time figuring out which was the worst. And the prevailing feeling, though, in '63, that there was always somebody watching us. That was kind of just a fear, but there have been an inordinate number of people who have died who've been intimately associated with us.
Oh, yeah. You mentioned in the book the woman who had, I can't remember her name, that was a friend of Jack Ruby.
Yes.
Jack Ruby seems to come up so much in all of that. I mean, his bar and the Secret Service people partying at his bar.
How does Ruby's bar enter into this? What was this?
Well, just there was a lot of connection there with...
Well, there were just lots and lots of connections there with Ruby. They've always tried to make him the buffoon, that he was just an emotional outburst and that he killed Oswald either on a whim or because he was patriotic or what have you. And it's the feeling of the theorist. I don't know, but that he was heavily into the mob and that he actually was instructed or meant to shoot Oswald, to keep Oswald from talking. Now, that's what the theorists say, and again, I tell you, that's not my bag.
Seems to fall in. Okay, right back with Charles Crenshaw, 542, 18 and 6 at AM-750 WSB, and Gary McKee, Hometown Radio Show.
Hey,
Joe, we were working on that Saturday and Saturday night. It was as if things had really quietened in Dallas, so they weren't shooting or stabbing or anything. It was the quietest night, Saturday night we'd had at Parkland in years. So our team goes off at 9 o'clock, and so we were still sitting there. We'd gotten so much sleep that we were talking about, obviously, the assassination and first one thing and another. And all of a sudden, the administrator of Parkland Hospital calls up to the doctor's lounge there and says he wants a free operating team. So I said, well, we're off duty. He said, I want a free operating team now. So we said, yes, sir. So we went down. And there in front of trauma room 1 and 2 was standing the administrator, and there he told us that Lee Harvey Oswald had been shot. And he was coming in, and that was just, more of the same. So our group there, we would not let the patient, the accused assassin, be put into trauma room 1. We put him in trauma room 2, and in 7.5 minutes, he had these cut downs in all 4 extremities. He had Ringer's lactate and O-negative blood going. He had a chest tube in the left, and we were pushing him up to the operating room. So there was absolutely no wasted time there. We got him into the operating room, didn't even put him on the operating table, operated on him on the cart in 12 minutes. So the only delay was from the jail to Parkland. So when we opened him up, there was a huge amount of blood there. So the attending staff had all come in, and so I had it, and I was holding a retractor. So I stopped and was standing there in the end of the table looking at the operative procedure. And there was this funny-looking man over there on the side. He looked like Oliver Hardy in a small scrub suit. And what got my attention again was another big gun in the back of his pocket and a badge in his front of his shirt there on the small scrub suit. How he got there, we'll never know. But anyway, I saw this guy, and the nurse tapped me on the shoulder. Technically, it was my service B, so she asked me to come to the telephone. I said, certainly. So I went in there, and I picked up the phone, and there was a voice like thunder. This is the President, Lyndon B. Johnson. How is the accused assassin doing? So I told him, well, he's critical. He's lost a lot of blood, but he's holding his own. He said, will you take a message to the chief operating surgeon? It was more an order than a request. And I said, certainly. He said, there's a man in the room, and I want him to take, and he will take the deathbed confession. Will you take that message? So I said, sure. Laughing, I put the phone down, went back and tapped Dr. Shires on the shoulder, and he looked at me after I relayed this message, and we both knew, even in the best of worlds, Oswald would not have been able to talk for 3 or 4 days. But nevertheless, they continued to try to save him. He had been without blood pressure too long and no circulation, and he then started fibrillating. And we tried open chest massage, all the methods with chemicals, things to bring the heart back. We could not, and Oswald died. So then I went over and tapped this guy on the shoulder, and I said, there'll be no deathbed confessions. He melted away again. I don't know who he was, how he got there, and how he got into the hospital for that matter. But there were many strange things happening at Parkland then and many strange people.
Well, the fact that President Johnson was looking for a deathbed confession sort of indicates that very possibly that might have been a piece of the puzzle. Part of the set. That's the set. Okay, we're going to learn, and you got to get
Well, at least he had to know 2 things. He certainly had to know that the patient was being operated on, and he also had to have known that the guy was in the room.
Yeah,
and so that's
probably that Oswald was prepared to give a deathbed confession.
Right.
Do you? I mean, this seems like it's such a severe topic. I mean, I know you laugh, and I know you're a good person, but I mean, you are a good person. But this topic, do you ever have any fun moments with people, or does everybody always want to grill you about this Kennedy assassination?
Well, recently, of course, obviously they want to grill me, but it's been a part of my life for a long time, and most people ask me what really brings this back to you. And being still into trauma surgery and being a chief in my emergency room, going into there and seeing somebody lying on a cart will bring back a lot of the memories of this.
Is it sort of a relief now to be able to get all of this off your chest?
Yeah, it really is. And I think it's a real relief that I've been able to talk to all the people and to make them understand that this is a time for the American people to learn the truth. Let's study. Let's open up the Warren Commission.
Do you think we ever will?
I think we'll definitely find out if they open all the so-called files for national security. I think we'll definitely find that there was a cover-up. Now, as far as who pulled the trigger, I don't know. I've often thought, again, being naive, that somebody would crack and somebody would say something, but you never know.
It's been cool. Whatever. Right back with Dr. Charles Crenshaw. The book is JFK, Conspiracy of Silence. It's AM-750 WSB Skycopter Skyplane Traffic and Captain Herb Emray.
At 285 eastbound now, Chambly-Dunwoody Road, second lane from the right, blocked up with a big old stalled truck there. That's what's going to slow you down as you're trying to make your way from the Georgia 400 area over towards Chambly-Dunwoody. Joy Cash and Survey downtown for you.
That's right, 7585 southbound, brief slowing there around Cortlandt Street. Northbound, slow spot around International, gets going again around Georgia Tech. Captain Herb.
It's a little slow traffic on I-85 northbound going into Gwinnett County now. A couple of cars off to the right, emergency lane south of Jimmy Carter Boulevard, causing people to stay slow there. I'm afraid that I-75, it's been a washed-out ride going up to Cobb County. Very slow from before Mount Perrin Road up toward the South Loop. An accident off to the side. Captain Herb Emery, WSB Sky Country, Skyplane Traffic.
In the AM-750 WSB News Center, I'm Mike Cavanaugh. Our top stories at this hour: some big environmental bills become law in Georgia today. A local police chief suspended. Atlanta teachers want a 10% pay raise. We'll have the latest on these and more coming up at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, check in with Kirk Mellish in the AM-750 WSB Weather Center. Showers and storms developing tonight, low about 64. It's on the way. I'm looking at them. And tomorrow, a thunder shower possible, partly cloudy and breezy with a high at 74 and low at 52. It's 76 degrees, and right back with Charles Crenshaw after these on the Hometown Radio Show at News Talk Radio, AM-750 WSB with Gary McKee.
It's time for Letters to Dave, brought to you by Wendy's and its founder, Dave Thomas. Some customers, right?
Dave, I've tried every value menu I can find. I must have put 400 miles on the car. But Wendy's Super Value Menu is the best food for the money. Signed, Harriet.
Dear Harriet, I hate to say it, but I told you so, Dave.
Dave, I love your 99-cent super value menu. I put together a Junior Cheeseburger Deluxe, Biggie Fries, Chili, Caesar Side Salad, and a Frosty. I call it Chuck's Combo. Something, huh? Chuck.
Dear Chuck, sounds like you got a real gift for this business.
Dave, my favorite meal is a Junior Cheeseburger Deluxe and Biggie Fries. My girlfriend prefers a Junior Cheeseburger Deluxe with a Caesar Side Salad. Do you think there's a chance for us? Don.
Dear Don, beats me, Dave.
Come in for Wendy's 99-cent super value menu, the best food for your money at participating Wendy's.
At the participating Wendy's in the greater Atlanta area, there are 9 delicious choices on the super value menu.
There's just one, and there's no mistaking it, one. There's no way of faking it, one. There's just one with that real attraction, the satisfaction, one. Just for the feeling, just for the taste. You know the moment you find it, just when there's something behind it. There's just one with that There's just one, there's no mistaking it, one. Just no faking it, one. Just for the feel, just for the fun, just for the taste. Diet Coke.
They cannot be seen, but they have no place to hide. They are vast in number, but their days are numbered. The invaders are termites, behind your walls, beneath your floors. The destruction could cost you thousands. The solution is the exterminator, the Orkin Man. And now his termite control arsenal includes the new Orkin foam treatment. And only Orkin has it.
750 with Sandy Garfield, Larry Munson, and myself. Got a good day here, 76 degrees. And it's 5:55, 5 o'clock. Dr. Crenshaw, would it help to recover the body of JFK? Are we going to find anything from the...
I don't know. I would have to probably consult with the pathologist. The thing that bothers me is they had to have altered the bone to get those initial pictures. Mm-hmm. I think it certainly could help us, but the most important thing would be to find the Kennedy brain. The brain is missing as an artifact, and no one seems to know where it is. That would be, of course, evidence. If the Russians have Lenin's brain, I don't know where we should have Kennedy's brain.
Have you seen JFK?
Yes.
Well, what's your opinion of that?
I think the movie was well done. I think he had to go to great lengths to bring in all of the thoughts on conspiracy. Mm-hmm. But the most important thing is it was a driving force, and I think it's brought before the American public that there has been a cover-up and the need to reinvestigate and to know what happened.
Yeah, what does Joe Pesci's character say? It's an enigma. It's an enigma wrapped in a mystery. I mean, God, it really is. And confound it, I hope that son of a buck will crumble, because I want to know, and so does the world. Let's get to Scott. Scott in Avondale Estates, you're on AM-750 WSB, Scott, with Dr. Charles Crenshaw.
How you doing?
Fine.
I would just like to first thank Dr. Crenshaw for coming forward, and I am also currently involved in an investigation as a result of an interview that I had with a gentleman who worked for the Department of Naval Intelligence from 1970 to 1973, and he saw documents exclusively stating what happened and why Mr. Kennedy was assassinated. And those documents, I can't go into all of it, but I'll go into briefly. They stated that his assassination was ordered by the Bilderberg Group in Germany, that the assassin that shot the final shot was not one of the 3 quote-unquote assassinations from the hills, but from the actual front of the car, a gentleman by the name of Mr. William Greer, who was his Secret Service agent. And at the time that I heard this, as a producer, I tried to find as much facts out about before I released any materials. So we proceeded to go through the Zapruder film. As a result of taking the Zapruder film, frame by frame, and then doing a pixelization process, you can clearly see. Now, you got to understand, there's 2 Zapruder films that are out there. One of them where people see basically what happened in the back of the car, and for the most part, you don't see what happens in the front of the car. But when you examine the front of the car and the activity between the 2 Secret Service agents, Mr. Kellerman, who was the passenger, and Mr. Greer, who was the driver, Mr. Greer takes his hands completely off of the wheel of the vehicle.
Yeah, Dr. Crenshaw's nodding his head here.
That's true.
Yeah.
He takes his hands off of the wheel. Mr. Kellerman, the agent on the passenger side, leans over, and you can see him grab the bottom of the wheel. Agent Greer then proceeds to turn around, and you can see his arm come up between Agent Kellerman and himself. And at the exact moment when the arm reaches an upward
I'm
position...
completely out of time, Scott. You're going to have to hold on. It's driving me crazy. This clock is just kicking me in the butt. Dr. Crenshaw, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
I'm proud of you. Proud of you. More of the Hometown Radio Show coming up next.
You know, I was hoping it just needed new fluid, but the mechanic says it's a whole new transmission.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, $1,300 worth of uh-oh. How's my line of credit look?
Well, yeah, there's plenty of room.
Great.
You know what, for that kind of money, you might consider a Prime Plus card.
What's that?
Well, it's like any other Visa or MasterCard, but this interest rate's tied to the Prime. And right now, it's only 9.4%.
You're kidding. I think I've been paying 21 or something.
That's why so many people are switching to this.
I'll bet.
We'll even give you transfer checks to pay off your old credit cards and transfer the debt to this one at a much lower rate.
Okay, so what's the catch?
Well, you do have to apply.
You wouldn't know anyone I could talk to.
It just so happens.
If your bank doesn't have a credit card that can save you money, maybe you should talk to a Wachovia personal banker today. Welcome to one of the best credit card rates in the country. Welcome to Wachovia.
Annual percentage rate as of March 15th. May vary monthly based on the Wall Street Journal prime rate plus 2.9%. Annual fee $39. Member FDIC.
News Talk Radio, AM-750 WSB. Hear what you're missing. Tune in 2, 3, 4 times a day for news, weather, traffic.
WSB Atlanta.
I hate the clocks in this place. News Talk Radio, AM-750 WSB. Time tone 6 o'clock.
Good evening. I'm Mike Cavanaugh, the AM-750 WSB News Center. The temperature at 6 o'clock, 76 degrees. Tonight's weather, showers, storms, the low near 64. The exclusive WSB 5-day forecast in just a few minutes. AM-750 WSB Skycopter Skyplane traffic. Here's Captain Herb Emery.
All right, now just a little delay on I-20 as you go out to DeKalb County. No big delays here at all whatsoever. Once you get past Moreland, you've got a speed limit shot all the way out toward Panola Road, Wesley Chapel. 285 is all cleaned up on the east side. I-85 northbound is going to be very slow as you get to 285, working your way up.